Oh, I don't think it's about me. We're all gathered together here, expressing what we think liberal education in Shimer consists in.
Just in the spirit of finding consensus, does anyone here want
in Shimer
to keep the current mission statement?
And I will report that to the board.
In what terms?
Now, does anyone have any objection when the board asks me my opinion to saying what my opinion is?
No.
Well, I would just
No,
like
but
to
it would help if you said it was yours and
Right, oh,
pointed out that there was so much.
Right, no, of course.
To be fair.
I mean, wouldn't it be unchimerian of me not to say what my opinion is?
Well,
very unchimerian to come out of this discussion no better informed. So yeah, I would say that. But as far as stating one's opinion, not an unchimerian thing.
I mean, I think something that's very Shimerian is coming to an agreement. That's why we all like it, is because we don't fully understand anything, but we understand it together. And so if you understand what we're saying, and someone understands what you're saying, usually we come out with the right answer. But if one of us is stubborn and talks over the other people, everyone else gets frustrated.
I mean, what's the difference between heuristic and dialectic? Heuristic is two people sort of butting heads and trying to come out with one or the other position on top. Dialectic is two people examining their beliefs and presuppositions and willing to sacrifice them to the end of coming to some new and different conclusion. Heuristic is invigorating. It's like fighting. I used to fight Weston at Shimer all the time. I felt great afterwards.
Actually.
We put on gloves and we beat the shit out of each other. The point is that we didn't accomplish anything. It was just fun. And it wasn't particularly Shimerian. And I mean, this is invigorating doing this right now, but this is clearly heuristic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, dialectic is what happens in classrooms. Heuristic is what's happening right here. And until you and we become willing to sacrifice, or at least examine to the end of modifying some of our principles, no one's going to draft any kind of mission statement which anyone could possibly agree on in terms of consensus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, I do, but I also think that the notion that we've done something wrong unless we reach a consensus, the notion elevates consensus as the goal of our discussion, when I think clarity is the goal of our discussion. To say that we failed if we don't reach consensus is, again, to presuppose something that we're not entitled to.
It's not about consensus. It's simply about some form of agreement.
It's about understanding of it.
Well, yeah.
Well, clarity would be.
Go ahead.
Understanding the other.
Clarity is I think we've still got a way to go for that as well. I mean, whether it's consensus or clarity, and I accept it's not consensus, we have, as a discussion, fallen short of both aims, I think.
I mean, as a body, you would, I don't know, as a body, one would want the representative to represent what its goals and missions are. And so, I mean, I can't help but understand why it's concerning if our leader is appearing as though he doesn't represent what we feel is right to be represented.
I would love to represent what you feel, but I can't sacrifice my own conscience to do it.
Well, then why can I ask, why are you here specifically then? Like, why Shimer?
Yeah, thank you. Glad you asked that question. I'm at Shimer because I see in the classroom intellectual liberty defined and pursued. That's what I think makes us so distinctive. That's fair pardon? No, wait a second. No, hold on a second. Don't confuse like or dislike with agreement or disagreement. Because what did I say at the very beginning? And this isn't the first time I've said it. What happens in the classroom, which is the heart and soul of Shimer, I think, as I said, is unparalleled.
Can you give us an example of how liberty was done in the classroom by your definition?
How many
hours have you? How many hours? I'm just curious.
I've seen it in every class. Since I've been here, I've sat in 5 or 6 classes.
Can you, 5 or 6 instances of attending a class, or 5 or 6 different classes?
5 or 6 different classes.
No, instances. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
No, you've not taken a class.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I hear you saying.
I would, listen, I would love to, I wish I could teach a class, or sit in on a class, but.
Have you ever participated in a Shimer class discussion?
Sure.
How many times have you participated in a Shimer class discussion?
In David Shiner's class, in Albert Fernandez's class.
Soch 2?
Yes.
Or all Soch 2s?
So,
Soch 2?
yes.
And, hey, look, you know, if the complaint is that I'm on the road so much that I can't be here as much as I would like, I join you in that complaint. But they did tell me that was their job.
It's fine, you're just cross. It's okay.
Yeah, I just to clarify, I hear you saying you
It's
hear
an extreme
everyone
shaky
saying
cam anyway.
we like our mission statement, we disagree with you. And you're saying, I hear you, but because of my personal beliefs, I cannot sacrifice what I put forth for you. So why are you upset?
Well,
Why are you our representative?
well, let me ask you if this is fair to do. If at the board meeting when they consider this, if I communicate to them the opinions and the unanimity and the passion, right? Like I said, don't think you're expecting that I should just simply make this a vote and say, yes, this is not what I believe because everybody else believes it. I can say, I don't agree with that, and then the board can do what it's going to do. Is that, I mean, is that fair? If I present everything that's been presented here? Not only
It's more fair to come into a brand new institution, you've barely spent any time there, and as one of like your first major acts, to change the fundamental mission of the college in a way that every single person who's been involved with that mission prior to your arrival is telling you is grossly mistaken.
I hope I've made clear in this meeting and prior to, I don't think I'm changing the mission.
But
Then why are you the topic here anyway?
I understand that.
So, but I think the Shimerian thing to do here would be to say, wow, I must be missing something. So like, it's not like you have to go in and say, you know what, let's just, whatever anyone else wants
Go
to
ahead.
do. But I think you wouldn't want to just automatically impose something that's getting so much opposition. There would be, I mean, if absolutely everyone else is convinced that you're wrong, I think most Shimerians would have the like humility to examine the notions.
Absolutely. I mean, and I will communicate to the board. I will say,
That's not what
this
I'm
is what I
asking
think.
for.
I
That's not what I'm asking for.
No, no, no.
You're
I'm
our
just saying,
president.
no.
You're going to tell them that we all disagree, but you're not going to say that I think it would be a bad idea to go against the will of the school at this time. Maybe eventually I'll convince them that I'm for real, I mean this genuinely, and they'll understand what I mean when I say this. But for now, it's obvious it's not the right time.
Well, and even one step further, I will say I'm obviously missing something because there is widespread and passionate opposition to what I think is a bolstering of the mission.
So one
which
step
you-
further of what I said, which is to recommend not to change the mission statement.